Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and War Games. Today I'm especially excited for Armoured Clash because we have the Enlightened faction battle group set and the entire Covenant faction that has been announced in the news today, and I did not expect to like what has been announced as much as I have. We'll take a look at the miniatures themselves, but damn do they look nice. We also have some reinforcements for the Polish for Dystopian Wars, and Polish are very beautiful ships, and they got a little bit buffed before their official release because if you remember the last news they were a little bit underpowered. It's not the case anymore. The main topic is going to be the Enlightened. We will take a look at everything that is inside. As always, before we start, thumbs up, subscribe if you would like, and if you put a little comment, you get a chance to gain a Dystopian Wars Armada or a Conquest Army of the Duegomes. But enough of all the YouTube things. First of all, what do you get inside this faction battle group? Well, as you can see on this picture here, it is absolutely massive. This is what you get inside the starter set. So we know they're a bit expensive. They're about 150 euros. Of course, as always, if you want to buy things, you have minus 15% on MyOB Place on everything Armoured Clash related. So it really helps. And if you put Love and War Games in the basket, we gain 5% back. So that's quite huge, actually. Thank you if you do that. First thing that we will see about the Covenant. For those who don't know, Covenants are basically mad scientists in the universe of Dystopian Wars. They hoard the technology. Some of them spread it around, and that's why every faction has some crazy tech. But they are the official sci-fi faction with all these crazy things. They are not aliens, even though you might think that. Even though I'm pretty sure you can paint them in whichever color you want and really make a themed army of invaders if you want, or you can paint them, really as alien forces or robotic forces or whichever, but technically they are humans. What you will see first of all is that they have tons of walkers. Have a look at them a little bit more in detail in a second, and they have so much infantry. Like I don't know if you can see, but that is a lot. Like it will take a lot of time and to paint all these guys, and that is the thing that scares me a little bit. They do have very cool vehicles, but damn, their infantry looks very like hordy, if I can say. It seems to be that it is going to be the gameplay of the Enlightened, the Covenant, to have tons of very cheap but not very efficient infantry to kind of like tar pit the enemy, while your very efficient walkers and alien technology and everything does the heavy lifting. You will also get in this starter, of course, some terrain, and that is already really cool. You also have, we'll talk about this in a second time, the introductory set with some unique command infantry in resin, okay? And otherwise it's just half of what you get, half the infantry sprues, half the heavy sprues. It's already quite a lot, like it's so many bases. Damn. It will take a long time, like good courage to all the Covenant players, because it will take you all to paint them. Try to find a color scheme that is easy to do, because if you do all the details, the little shades and everything on every single model on every single base, you will burn out before you finish. The first thing that really made me fall in love with this faction, and you saw it probably in the miniature, I think I'm gonna just put it in big because damn, is those super heavy extractors or surveyors. And these machines look insane. Like, we know that it's going to be quite large and it's going to be a beauty on the table. Like, I love walkers in every faction. That's what made me start the Adeptus Mechanicus back then. If your faction has a walker tank, I'm gonna play your faction. And just for this, I'm really considering playing the Covenant. I was going all in on the Union, but damn, how can I say no to this? Just look at this beauty. I don't even care if it's strong or not. I will bring one or even two of those guys every single game. Like we don't know any rules yet, but this is a win. Like, this is the kind of thing that makes you want to start playing Armoured Clash. I know that multiple people hate these very sci-fi Mars Attack, War of the Worlds design, and they're like, yeah, but it's makes me, it's not realistic anymore. First of all, Armoured Clash is not very realistic, but it is something that is so cool design-wise that just for this, like, you can justify it however you want, but having this in your game is a big plus for me. Sorry, I'm very excited about those things. Then, as we have said, there are tons, and I mean tons, of cheap infantry. If we have a look in there, it's they go 8 by 8, those basic infantry, so the same as the Empire Jade Warriors, I forgot the real name, but yeah, so it's really, you can make a big pack of 24 of those, and they look they're citizen soldiers, so barely trained. I don't think they're like Eldar Guardians who get trained their whole life. I think they're just very cheap and they're going to be very bad. They're literally just going to be ablative wounds. Like, I don't know the rules yet, but I'm sure they're going to be terrible. Maybe since they have high-tech weapons, they're gonna have something good at point blank or whatever. But yeah, they're basically gonna be here to just absorb the enemy attacks. Though they look extremely cool. Like if we keep talking about Eldars, I like that most of the infantry have this kind of mask on them that reminds me a lot of the Wraith Blades and all the Wraith units of the Eldars. And I think you can make them look very, very cool. You will also get the 2 units of Brutes, so the Brute Wardens and the Brute Enforcers. If I look again at the smaller packs, we can see that we're going to have in each sprue, each box that you buy of infantry, you're going to have 4 of the Wardens and 4 of the Enforcers. Is it going to be a dual build? I am not sure. I don't think so. I'm just going to scroll fast. I'm discovering this with you as well a little bit. Yeah, okay, so you do get per box 4 of each. Because here, of course, the starter set is like 2 boxes of infantry and 2 boxes of heavy plus the flagship, etc. But you apparently it's not a double build thing. Okay, good to know. And what else can I say except that these guys look really, really cool. Oh my god. They might even look a little bit cooler depending on how you paint them than pacifiers from the Union. Like this screams heavy infantry to me, like with this giant Gatling. Maybe there's some conversion work to be done. Anyway, probably it's going to be basically the same as the Union pacifiers indeed. And those Brute Wardens with the giant shield, they look amazing. Oh my god, I really want to play Covenant the more I look at them. Just look, it looks brilliant. Those are like little bullgrains with this beautiful shield with the, looks like the shield generator from Dystopian Wars, but in very small. I wonder if they're gonna have like permanent cover because of the shield or something like this. But yeah, it goes even more with like this infantry is ablative wound theme that we kind of see with the Covenant. The first time that we see heavy defense-oriented infantry in Armoured Clash, and I'm all for it. We continue with this abomination. Like, I'm sorry, this looks very scaveny to me. Looks even quite funny with these Gatling hanging around. Like this Devastator heavy construct, you get 4 of those for each infantry or heavy box. Don't know yet in which it is going to be, but it looks like a heavy mech made of flesh. It's very disturbing. I'm not sure I like it very much, but that is the feeling that you're supposed to feel watching this. Yeah, like it's extremely well painted, and I am waiting to see it on the sprues because how does it look when it's painted with less talent than what you see there? It is quite busy visually. Like, I mean, this is something that we see quite around on many Covenant models, but the theme is great with this guy, like this bioconstruct. Love it. Then you have the Hylian cohorts, and I know that those are models that existed in Wild West Exodus. They also a rule that the Covenant have on Dystopian Wars, and they are very, like, they are lovely. I just love these little engine like reactors in the rear. They look very mobile indeed, and they're probably my favorite airborne infantry yet. And I cannot wait to spam like 10,000 of those. You get 8 alien in the starter set, so it means 4 per box that you will buy. So it means 2 per spruce if you want to be precise. You are also going to get 10 Seeker Outriders cohorts, so they're probably going to be very fast infantry. They're not really cavalry because there's like 4 per base, so very fast infantry. I will be honest, I really dislike this monocycle appearance. Like they go very much in the body horror theme. Like they look almost like Throgs from Quake, if you ever known this name, this game. That's how they were called, the aliens, right? Throgs, something like this. Anyway, not a big fan of the design, but you get 10 of those, so I hope that you like them. And they're not going to be an integral part of the Covenant army. Otherwise, probably you will be able to convert them a little bit, I hope, and do something because yeah, this design just, I don't want to field a unit of those guys, but if you like them, all the power to you. Also very, very cool, the K9 Gun Dog Pack, which is like basically cyber robo-dogs with a gun. Brilliant. They probably got very much inspired by the latest drone developments in our real world. But yeah, apparently 2 different weapons. I'm not sure if it's going to have any impact, but this looks like a basic gun, and this looks like a missile launcher. I wonder if there's going to be 2 different variants, or if it's just for the design, or if the one with the missile is just the commander. We'll have to see how it works. But these guys I really like. You get 10 of those. Then we switch to the cavalry. You're going to get In the starter set, 8 monocav, so it means 4 per box that you will buy later on. Monocav, it's again, I'm not very big fan of these monocycles, but it's a little bit better, I guess. I wonder if I can convert this or maybe just proxy some other cavalry units instead of this. Yeah, not a huge fan. I like that they have these little guns on the side. It looks cool, but I don't know. It reminds me a lot of Fallout for whatever reason. Like this very like retrofuturist appearance. We'll have to see what they do and if they are very important, but not a huge fan. What I am a huge fan though is those Strider Cav cohort. Probably more melee oriented because I don't see any guns on them. Or maybe this thing in the front is a cannon. We'll have to see. For those Wild West Exodus players, can you tell us in the comments like how they fight in Wild West Exodus? Do they have like are they melee oriented or anything? I hope that at some point we'll have Gustave Eiffel on this giant mech spider tank available in resin or something, maybe in a narrative campaign later on. Because damn, I want him leading a huge horde of those Strider calves. You also get 8 of those in the starter set. Now we start to see the really big boys with the battle tripods. So there, you start with the Mars, the default version, I guess, with this flippy thing going under. I will not tell you what it reminds me of, but it's a weird design choice. I kind of wish it had just a cannon on the head. Maybe it's possible to convert it now that I think of it, because it really disturbs me a little bit. This screams like Invader from the old Dystopian Wars games to me, but I really love. Like it's a tripod. It's gonna have a very like impressive presence on the field of battle, I guess. You get as many of those as tanks for other factions, so 2 per box, 4 with the starter sets. And if we can see like next to the infantry, it's going to be massive. Like, can I zoom it here? Yeah, you see the infantry, like it's much taller. And from what I see, it does not have a base. So I wonder how it's gonna work for measuring distances and stuff. I guess you just calculate the distance from any part of the miniatures. We'll have to see. But yeah, I'm very excited to have hordes of those on the field of battle. Another version is going to be the Daimos Guardian version, and maybe it's going to be an artillery thing. Like, we'll have to see what this is in the back. Either it's a shield thing because it's called the Guardian, maybe it has a bubble of, like, I don't know, shroud or something like this, or it's an artillery. And I hope that it's an artillery because, damn, it would be very cool to have this kind of like giant walking mortar. Really hope so. And you have the assault version with this giant thing. Very War of the Worlds. Like I remember the movie with Tom Cruise from 2004, 2005, where they had these giant things to just grab people and keep them until the humans get processed. So very much on theme. Probably a very massive, powerful melee attack. Maybe anti-light then. And even cooler, in my opinion, we got these artillery and mortar crawlers, so the Europa and the Enceladus. So long range anti-heavy probably artillery and short range anti-light artillery. We start to have the habit of those different type of artilleries now, but I quite enjoy that the Covenant are very mobile. They don't have any field guns, they don't have any fixed artillery, like all their weapons are mobile, like on legs, and it will make for a very mobile, I think, and fun playstyle, like your slow infantry, which they don't have any transports like at all, will just torpedo the enemy and hold the center of the table, while your real damage dealer are going to use their little legs to go around, to crawl around, get away from hurt, and just bombard the enemy from a distance. Quite like this gameplay. You also are going to get this Callisto Assault Gatherers, probably just an alternative build where you are melee oriented. They have this, which I guess will make them either hover very fast, either it will give them a boost or something of speed to get in melee much faster. And at this point, I think they're gonna have an anti-heavy oriented, like with a Wrecker keyword, melee attack. That is my opinion. We will see how it is once we get the rules. Last but not least, we have these gyrocab, those sickles, and is the first time we see like aerial units. I wonder if the airplanes are going to be the same as this or if they're gonna be different, but I like that they have these very like weird looking, I don't even know how to call this, like these little tubes to get the flying position. Hopefully they're not all the time the same. But yeah, this is going to look quite good. 100% sure they're going to have the aerial keywords, and finally your anti-air weapons that you're like, oh, they're not very useful to me, finally you're gonna be able to shoot your entire weapons at something. They seem to have Gatling, so probably very good, very mobile, and very good against light, like infantry type units. And finally, you get, of course, you start to know all the rules, the cards, the measurement tools, the dice, the tokens. You know how it is. It's a very good deal, as always, those starter sets. And you get some terrain. So lovely. We love always more terrains, of course. Trying to keep these short, but you have half of this without the cards and without many things, and half of it in the introductory set. So much less of a good deal, but still quite a good deal compared to buying the boxes separately. So always, like, one very good way to have a full-sized units of each is to buy the starter set, the faction battle group, and the introductory set, which is much cheaper as well. You don't have to. If you're a new player in Armoured Clash, buy the introductory set. Yes, it's expensive, but you get everything you need. You get the cards, you get the much more dice, and you get the terrains, because if you don't have terrain, the game is much less fun, and it's a specific like epic scale terrain, so harder to use your Warhammer terrain for this. But once you have your introductory set, if you want to just increase the size of your army, the introductory set, like this thing, is usually the best deal to just increase if you don't want a second giant walker, which is my case. So of course I'm gonna buy again this this first faction battle group. So you get a little bit more of everything. The one thing that we're gonna take a look is that you have this resin character upgrade, which is gonna be a custom command model. It's like a little reward for buying this introductory set. And yeah, I really like that each time they have the commander here. I wonder if it's what was the name of this general? Schneider? Oh, I forgot. There is the War Master of the Covenant. I wonder if it's him. We'll see in the details if it's explained. And then he has a little warden with a Gatling, and it looks very cool. For the Empire, it was like a commander as well, with a giant terracotta automata. So I love these little details with a very cool banner. Damn, the level of painting is absolutely insane. So you get a little bit of everything. A little bit. You don't have the cards. You have a shorter rulebook. You have a quick start booklet, they call it, and a little bit less dice. But it's still good. Like, if you're not sure you want to play Armoured Clash, you can buy just this little box, which is much cheaper. Make a little training games, and then you can expand later on. Finally, you have reinforcements for the Polish-Lithuanian. So it's basically the box of the Zamiek, which was the flagship, but it's going to be cheaper, and you're going to have just half of the sprues, and you don't have access to the resin parts. Is it going to be interesting? I'm not sure, because if I go to my hobby place, the whole pack of the Zamiek, so 4 sprues and the Zamiek itself, like the resin, it was 68 euros, and you get this. I cannot get over how cool this Zamiek looks. But yeah, you have all of this for 68. So of course minus 15%, you get it 58, very good. But when you look at the squadrons for whichever game, like I take a look at the Union Aerial Squadrons, you get it at 33. You basically just buy the box twice by buying the Zamiek, and you have these very cool extra resin pieces. So if you want to expand the Polish, except if you really literally need only those extra 2 sprues and not 4, and you don't know whatever you will do with the extra 2, then okay, I understand, buy the Polish aerial squadrons. Otherwise, I would say every single time, go for the Zamiek. It is a much better deal, and if you don't know what to do with this giant flight deck and this extra resin the second time, because you don't want 2 Zamieks, which I can understand, even though it's not crazy to have 2 Zamiek in the list, you can use this for terrain. Make a little island that is an airfield. Use this as a little command center on top of a hill. Like the resin bits of Dystopian Wars, we've had a lot of luck in our group to recycle them to make some terrains, especially the aircraft carriers. So you could absolutely do this, and a full Polish fleet is going to be terrible for capturing objectives, even though you have low-level strike in many places, which can help, and it's going to look so cool. I will not go too much in details, but basically the Polish are much better now. Especially this Voivode heavy airship used to be terrible. It got boosted. I think it's open beta now. It's not Warhorse beta, so I can share. But basically the rocket batteries of the Commonwealth have been boosted. So this was a big problem of the Polish. It was like they had abysmal firepower. Now it has been fixed. And the sword wing is much better now as well. Like, everything is better for the Polish. They do look at like a good sub-faction now. Not OP still, but very good and fun to play now. We've talked about them, so I will just skim over this and go back to the beginning because we reach the end of the video. I try to keep it short because I have a very short lunch break today at work, and I would like to post it as soon as possible because I'm very excited about the Covenant. The Polish as well, but this is like we knew them already. But damn, let me know in the comments what you think about the Covenant. Like they have a very divisive graphical style with these kind of like human zombies and the motorcycles, which I hate, but also all these walkers, which I love. But I know many people tell me like it's too sci-fi, too alien for them. Do you think they belong in Armoured Clash and Dystopian Wars universe? Do you think it gets you out of your semi-historical setting of Armoured Clash? Let me know what you think. Let me know if you will get those as well. I thought I would go all in Union until I wait for the Alliance, but no, I have to collect the Enlightened as well. I will probably do some Tesla Force, like half Union, half Covenant, because that's the only way I can see to justify in the fluff to have both factions at the same time. Of course, when we receive, if we receive the box, I will make a full like how to start with the Covenant. You know how it works. We will make a 2 hours video reviewing every single variant of the units as well as the unboxing of the box. And we are getting our painting done on Armoured Clash. We are trying to get it done as fast as possible, but it takes some times, of course, to have some, even with some pro painters, to get everything painted. Right now we are doing everything we can to have our army list ready for conquest for the European tournament, and it has delayed Armoured Clash. But as like Crown is painted, Empire and Union is being painted at the same time, and Covenant will come just after. And as soon as we have armies ready, we will start to produce quite a few battle reports because we are very excited to play this. Thank you very much for having watched until the end. You know all the things, especially the comments, so you gain a chance to win a fleet or an army for 2 different games. Also, thumbs up, it always helps to get the word around. And of course, subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. Take care of yourself, guys, and until the next video, remember to keep things fair in love and war games. Bye!